Okay, so trade recap. I took a win today on Euro US dollar. So let's go over it. Looking at the higher time frame. Yesterday we came into this monthly fair value gap by 3 pips, so not a lot. But we did not have news yesterday, which also was on Monday. And today, which is a Tuesday, we don't have any red folder news yet. Not until Thursday. That is when we do have unemployment claims. So, looking at the daily, nothing really interesting. We're about to create this daily bearish fair value gap. Not relevant to me at the moment. The 4 hour, here, I was looking at the beginning of the session for price to push up into this mitigation block overlapping with this fair value gap. But that did not happen, but instead we prevented this 4 hour fair value gap from being created, which to me indicated that we might want to continue lower towards this low. But my first strong liquidity was this low, since we came into this 1 hour fair value gap, but we failed to follow through and create a new 1 hour fair value gap higher, but instead at the open gave these two rejection wicks. On the 15 minute, here was the clearest sign, because here we created this low resistance liquidity run, which I expected when we had this first fair value gap being created to act as the low resistance liquidity run and target this low. So that was my first strong liquidity. So before we reached that, we had this 50-minute fair value gap, which price stung into. On the 1 minute, I waited for my 1 minute bearish fair value gap. I did not wait for a sting into it, but I entered on the creation and I got filled right there. Stop loss at the high of this candle, targeting a simple 1 to 2 with spread, and yeah, that was the trade. Also, when this my first drawn liquidity was hit, I made sure to be break even, because I knew that price might actually sweep this low to then continue higher. I also figured that if price wanted to continue lower, we should still not come to my break even point, because at that point, or in that case, we would still create this 5 minute fair value gap, or even this 5 minute fair value gap, and the overlapping mitigation block is the overlapping defense. We should not sting much above this if we truly want to continue lower. So that was my thought process behind the risk management as well. Overall, a pretty good trade, I would say. Starting the week off strong. This was my first trade for the week, and yeah, I'm not going to force anything like I did not do today. I waited for this setup. I did not expect this setup to form because we were so close to the drawn liquidity, but we ended up getting it, and I took action and capitalized on it. So that is all for this trade recap, and I'll hope to see you around.